Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We are back on the dev server. We're having a look at a new tank which is coming in to the American tech tree. This is the M10 Booker, one which I know a lot of people have been looking forward to for a long time, maybe for the wrong reasons, but at least it is in now. The Booker is being added to War Thunder as it has been cancelled in the American Armed Forces. That kind of makes me sad, but in War Thunder, at least it will live forever, or at least until the servers are. So, let's have a chat about it. This is labeled as a light tank in War Thunder, even though it is 42 tons. It's a big boy, and that means it will get all of the nice perks of a light tank in there. The other thing to also mention is where it is in the tech tree. Since it is a 10.7 vehicle, it is between the M3A3 Bradley and also the HSTVL. So, being at 10.7 is actually quite a nice BR, because you have the M1 Abrams to run with it, and also a myriad of support vehicles, such as the M1128, and also the Levad, and the XM975, if you really want to. What is also refreshing is the fact that in the recent updates for War Thunder, we've got the Stingray, and also the M10 Booker, two light tanks which add to this kind of auto-cannon area, which Gaijin has created for the longest time. It was such a sad thing when looking over here with all of the event light vehicles that have been added and seeing none of them being added to the standard tech tree. And it seems like finally they're actually doing that. So you have the XM8, the CCVL, the LOSAT, which is, an ATGM carrier, but then also the AGS. All of these vehicles were added pretty close to each other, and then they just never added anything in terms of light tanks over here to this part of the tech tree. But finally, they are. So that's pretty cool that they're doing that. So let's have a look at the Booker. Let's see what it is about. Well, it's a rank 7 vehicle, and it gets access to the trusty 105. This is different from the Abrams' 105. This is the M35 cannon, but it will fire very similar rounds. It's 2-plane stabilized. You can see the targeting speed there is very good in the horizontal and good enough in the vertical. I wouldn't say it's the best, only 10 degrees, but if you compare it to Russian equipment of the same BR, which is running some of them at 4 degrees, it is obviously a lot better. What is also nice about this gun is the ammunition that they're giving it. You start off with the M456A2 Heat FS, which obviously Heat FS of this BR is no good, but at least you get a rank 1 modification M833 shell, which should be quite nice, and then the M900, which is one of the best 105mm shells in the game, and generally will work very good for this vehicle at 10.7. Even in a full up tier, you'll be able to aim for weak spots and annihilate stuff with this, and that works really, really well. The other part of the vehicle that I really like on this is the gun depression. It isn't a crazy tall vehicle, which is really nice. If you compare it to the SEP, for example, this is like the height of the SEP, and this has -10 gun depression, and the Booker also has -10 gun depression too. So you're going to really struggle to not be able to get the gun on target with this thing. The turret is slightly higher than the gun, like in quite a large way, especially here. So if you're trying to go over a ridge, someone will be able to shoot you in the top of it before you can get your gun on target. But generally, I think it's still in a really nice place. And with that type of round, and also with a 5-second reload, you're going to do a lot of damage. Now, the Booker has a 4-man crew. You have a driver in the front, and then you have 3 guys in the turret. You can see it has an updated model. This means it will be way less survivable than a lot of the other vehicles in the game, such as the Type 90 and also the Type 10. It has a transmission in the front and an engine block in the front too. 815 horsepower with an automatic transmission means that it should generally be good to fly about the place. It isn't as fast as a lot of the other light tanks around this BR, but the fact that it gets a proper weapon instead of an autocannon, for me, it kind of balances out in terms of it. This turret basket is one of the worst things that they've added to these American vehicles, and I can't wait for every nation to get access to something like this, because it's just incredibly annoying about the fact that whenever you get shot in an Abrams, and whenever you're going to get shot in a Booker, it's going to take out this horizontal, and that pretty much means that you are done for, because you have to repair it. It's going to take 20, 25, 30 seconds, and then you're not going to be able to shoot back. Whereas other vehicles, such as the Type 90 and 10, do not have something like this, so it just gives them a distinct advantage. You also have the power system, also the big radiator in the back, and also the ammo. It looks like it has a similar blowout panel to the Abrams, They haven't set a first stage ammo stowage yet, but I'm sure they will do in the future. And also, you have the commander's optics, which is okay. Like, it's not the best in the world, but it has the gunner's optics, which also is a little bit weird too. 3 times to 10 times, which is fine. It also gets a track IRST on top of it, and you get PVR and ACM on it too, because why not at the end of the day? You also have the FCS system, which Gaijin said that they wouldn't put this FCS system in for similar vehicles when they added it to the Russian vehicles, because they said other similar vehicles do basically not have them modeled first, and therefore they're not going to add the capabilities to them. But for some reason, the M10 Booker does have its capabilities added to it. So when you actually knock out this FCS, the gun will not be able to fire. So whenever you get shot in the turret, if you don't die, you are going to lose this, which means a long repair. You're going to lose this, which means you can't fire back, and you won't be able to use your laser rangefinder, or you're not going to be able to turn the turret or do anything. So yeah, you're basically dead anyway. Like if you get shot in this thing, with all of the updated models that they're adding to it. Now, talking about survivability, we have the armor. The armor isn't fully here yet. You can see there's a massive hole where the upper part is. So that is a bit of a problem. Like you can see, you can see that when I do this, right, it's not actually showing me what the upper Glacis is. So they forgot to model it right now. But I'm guessing it's going to be around 25 millimeters, since everything else is 25 millimeters on the vehicle. It also doesn't have a ton of armor on the turret as well. But once again, there is an area of armor which is missing on it. So you have the actual breach of 38, and then the trunnion behind it, and then also 150 millimeters on the actual breach itself. You have 40 millimeters of armor on the sides, and then, yeah, you are missing the kind of back plate of where the turret is. On the back, you have, of course, the blowout panel with 40 millimeters, and behind that, once again, only 25 around the place. So it's really not looking great in terms of that survivability either. You'll get annihilated by autocannons, whether they be 25s, 30s, or 40s, so you really need to focus on shooting first in this thing, which shouldn't be too hard to do with the really good targeting speed and also really good round that it gets access to. You also get a bunch of smoke grenades, 16, which is nice. That's not usually something that you get. Normally it's around about 8. You also get a really good thermals. You don't get an LWS on this thing, which is surprising. You only get access to a laser rangefinder. And then you also have all of the other kind of bells and whistles you get from a light tank. So you do get the scout UAV. You also get access to the artillery, the airstrike, and the improved optics as well. So you can run this with aircraft to be able to get them going in the air too. So it's looking very good, the Booker. It's one of those vehicles which I feel a lot of people have been looking forward to for a long time. For me personally, it's one of those which has been on the radar for a long time just by following its development. There's a lot of vehicles, whether it is from like America or whether it is from England or whether it is from France, where people are kind of always looking forward to what the new era of vehicle is going to look like. And a lot of them are pretty dull. They're just big boxes, like Patria-esque, for example. But for me, I've always been interested in more of the gun platforms and what they're going to bring to the table. And seeing something like this and seeing the way that it's kind of set up, I am actually really interested to see how it works in War Thunder. Now, I wonder also if they're going to add like an upgrade package to it in terms of additional armor. There are areas, especially on the side here, you can see that they would easily be able to kind of like put something here in terms of survivability, or maybe like on the side of the turret as well. But at least right now, it doesn't have a lot. So for the 105mm, it's very similar in terms of a lot of the other 105s you'll have for America. So the penetration will be good. The actual reload will be very good, and generally it'll just feel really nice to play. You can see here it has the Gen 3 thermals as well. The commander's sight isn't sorted yet, and also you'll get 4 loads of smoke, which will make a big difference for the vehicle as you wander around. This thing isn't as mobile as other light tanks of the area, as I said, but it makes up with it in so many different ways, such as the firepower, and also the really, really good thermals as always. I love fuel tanks. Fuel tanks are great. Anyway, so moving on with the Booker. It's wonderful to see. A lovely Christmas present. for the Americans as Christmas comes. You get to enjoy a new vehicle and a new 50 cal sound, and also top tier banger too. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.